We continue to preview the 2025 college volleyball season. Our stop today is Siloam Springs, Arkansas, as we get to visit with Ken Carver, who is the head volleyball coach for the John Brown Golden Eagles, heading into his 12th season with the program. Coach, thank you for stopping by and visiting with us today. And I know it's been a long summer for you, and you have still a ways to go before things get started in August, but let's talk a little bit about the team for 2025, but we have to say 2024 first. 17-15 last year, 15-7, a very good play in the Sooner Athletic Conference. Got the 3 seed in the conference tournament, so nice job to get that point of the standings. 10-2 at home. You did well when you were at home, and you won your last 6 regular season matches as well. So tell us a little bit about 24.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Joey. Really appreciate the opportunity to be on and visit with you, talk about our program. So
Thank you.
The 2024 season, we had a very veteran team. We had 7 seniors on that team. And so with that, we really wanted to try to push our schedule. So I don't want to say we bit off a little more than we could chew, but we definitely chose 2 very challenging tournaments to open our season, heading up to Bellevue University for their invitational. And then the second weekend went down to Our Lady of the Lake in San Antonio. And, learned a lot in going 1-7. We had some injuries early on and just trying to move some pieces around a little bit. But we really talked about, hey, we wanted that extra challenge because our conference is tough, but we're looking kind of beyond our conference. And so we're trying to see really good, nationally and regionally ranked teams, which we did. 7 of our 8 opponents to start were either regionally or nationally ranked. So we definitely saw a lot of good competition. And that, while we didn't necessarily see the results on the scoreboard early on, we learned a lot of good lessons, and our players did a really good job of still staying committed to the process and continuing to learn as we went through the course of the season. And I think that, helped play itself out in conference. Of the years I've been here, we've only finished 3rd in conference once. We usually are kind of 4th or 5th ultimately. So, how we were able to push and finish really spoke volumes of kind of the growth that last year's team kind of went through, and just being able to mentally stay tough and committed to just, learning and getting better in the gym, and then have those opportunities to prove it on the court when we were playing during our course of our really tough conference schedule.
You mentioned 7 seniors, so that means there's going to be some new faces, obviously, that are coming in. I know that there are a number of girls there on campus and part of the program because you have the varsity program and the JV program as well. Mm-hmm. So a lot of players from which to choose. Talk a little bit about your spring and summer and how you're integrating new players in.
Yeah, so spring was different for us because of how many we graduated. That is probably the smallest group I've ever had to work with in an off season. So we had to get a little creative ultimately with that. Really appreciated Coach Steve Brankel, our JV head coach. We were able to probably integrate and work a lot with his team when we needed to get to numbers to have some gameplay. So that was beneficial for both teams ultimately with that. So we spent a lot of time, I think, just working with the players that are returning. A lot of them, for most of their careers, the majority of them have been kind of role players for us. And so kind of preparing them to step into much more significant roles as returning players to our program. I think we spent a lot of time talking a lot of culture pieces. One of the things I think we're really proud of is the culture we've been able to develop with family first, emphasis on, spiritual growth and development, and a constant pursuit of excellence. And so being able to, what does that look like with this group? What does that look like moving forward, and continuing to improve upon that? So having those discussions with them, and then as we, continue to solidify parts of our 25 recruiting class, begin to integrate them and reach out to them ultimately. So kind of some preparation as it relates to the fall. And this summer, 2 weeks ago, we just finished our recruit ID camp and had a number of our players from both teams back to be a part of that and to interact with the recruits that we're looking at moving forward. So that was really fun just to see all of our players back on campus again and to have them interact with the recruits. And we're 3 weeks out roughly from having our team report and getting going. And so we're excited for that, to have everybody back and get going. We're able to host opening weekends, so that's great for us to be here at home and kind of get our season started and actually have that as a part of new student orientation. So hopefully get a lot of the freshmen there and at our matches. So yeah, a lot of great things that we're looking forward to here.
It's nice that you mentioned that as of this recording that we're close enough that it's just less than a month from when things are getting underway. So that means the fall is right around the corner and we get to start talking about real matches pretty soon.
Yeah.
Coach, as we mentioned some of the places for 25 that you're going to be seeing some players step in. I'll mention players that have expended their eligibility and graduated and moved on because you had such a great team last year. Among those, Emma DeSanti, who was one of your setters for you last year, just a great performance from her. Transferred in from Black Hills State, so a D2 transfer and a season with the program. Did well. She has moved on, and opportunities then for one or two setters in a 6-2 look if you run that again.
Yeah. So, Emma did a great job in the 2 years she was able to play. We would love to have a third, but there was an injury that kind of interrupted her 2 seasons. But she was a great young lady, stepped in, I think did a really good job, I think, of modeling some things for what was last year one of our incoming freshmen as a setter that ultimately saw a lot of playing time alongside Emma. That's Tessa Burton. And so I think that's definitely going to be very helpful to Tessa as she's ready to step in and carry a lot more of the load for us this year. And then we have another incoming freshman coming out of Nebraska. Her name's Taylor Kosmicki. And she actually was here for our camp 2 weeks ago. So being able to just see her and the growth that she has been, really working hard on during the course of the summer, going through our summer training program. I think the two of them are going to pair very, very nicely together. But great opportunities for both of them as young players to step in and have significant roles for us right out of the gate and right off the bat for them.
We're visiting now with Coach Ken Carver from John Brown here on Midwest Sportsnet, and I encourage you, please take the time to like this video and to subscribe to the channel. It really does help. It's encouraging. Coach, I have no idea what it does for the algorithm, but I think it does help. So we talk about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond here on Midwest Sportsnet. And again, with Coach Carver, 222 and 124, your record at John Brown, almost 100 more wins than losses. And you also alluded to the fact that Coach Steve Brankel is coaching your JV team. We had a chance to visit with him earlier in the summer, and we'll put the link to that video in the description. So you want to check that out too. Coach Brankel had a lot of good things to say. Savannah Riley graduated, and she had a lot of time there with the program, and what a career she had for you. And I said Riney, and I would love to hear your thoughts on her, and then from where's your offense going to come now?
Yeah, Savannah obviously was a phenomenal player coming out of high school. We really tried to recruit her hard, but at that point in time, she was just kind of tired and burnt out of volleyball. And so she ultimately initially made the decision to just be a student at the University of Arkansas. That also happened to coincide when COVID happened. And so that was just not a great experience for her. So after the fall semester of her freshman year over Christmas break, or actually it was after Christmas break, it was right after New Year's, she contacted me out of the blue and said, "Hey, I really would love to play volleyball. Would you still be interested?" And I was like, "Of course we would still be interested in you. It's a matter of, can we get you admitted in 7 days?" And so everything worked out. Obviously, she had been playing volleyball, so that COVID shortened spring season was a lot of just getting her into playing shape. But she even did really, really well that first shortened season, and then just continued to take off and build from there. Probably of my 20 plus career at several universities, probably one of the top five college student athletes I've had the pleasure of coaching. Just the athleticism that she brought, just the humility. Like, she's a really, really good player, especially at the NAIA level, and just humble about it. Like, she hated talking about herself and she had to, be in that spotlight, but just a really, really good kid. And yeah, we definitely have relied on her a lot over the course of her career. So that's going to be some big shoes to fill. I don't think, as I look at our program coming in with both the combination of our returning players and just the number of freshmen that we have that are going to have to step in immediately and carry some big loads, I think it's going to be definitely more of a spread offense, that we're not going to just, feature one particular player. In terms of offense, probably Emma Kate Schaefer, coming out of Fayetteville. She's one of our seniors this year, lefty right side. She's probably the most senior and experienced offensive player we'll have returning. Ellie Yarborough is our other senior that we have. She's kind of been a utility player throughout her career. She's played in the middle. She's played at right. She's played at out last year for us. But at least to start the season, she's going to be recovering from an injury. So we may not get her until very late into the season. So, like I said, I think it's a matter that we're going to have to do a lot of teaching and get our freshmen, and we have one transfer coming in as well, all of them up to speed very, very quickly in terms of just our offensive system, what it is that we look for. But the thing I like about all of them is really great learners. They're hungry. They love to be coached. Like I said, we got to see most of them back as a part of our summer camp and being able to work with them in that day. So that was just exciting and encouraging, just to work with them in that 6-8 hours that we had. And just like, I think we'll be all right. I mean, it's going to take a little bit of learning, obviously, and get up to speed, but I like where their headspace was at. And so, it's something we're excited to continue to look forward to and build off of.
One more player from last year's team, Julie Milligan, was a big part of what you did on the back row. And her last 2 seasons, more than 5 digs per set over the course of each of those 2 seasons. I know that there are big shoes to fill there as well, but I think it's good. Sounds like that she might stick around.
Yeah, so we were fortunate to be able to extend an offer to her to stay on and get her master's degree. And so she's going to be a graduate assistant coach for us this next season with our varsity team. But yeah, she it's funny because we originally recruited her as an outside hitter, and just over the course of her career kind of worked on transitioning. She played behind a very dominant player initially as a DS, and Jillian Blackman, and she was kind of one of the program's all-time best, and then Julie came right behind her and just really shown her last 2 years. So it'll be great having her on the staff to work with our back row and primary passers. She brings a lot of knowledge. Again, another player that's just really, really humble, I think, and just how she looks at herself and what she wants to give to our program. So excited to have her join. I think that's one of the positions on our team we're going to bring at least a little depth to. So Mia Bedke, another Fayetteville kid, she's in her junior year. So she's a returning defensive specialist and has seen a lot of time during her first 2 years here. And then Mallory Jury was a freshman for our program last year, and she kind of split time along with Mia alongside of Julie playing last year. So both of them are strong, and I like having them there. But then we also have a very, very good incoming freshman from Shiloh Christian, Paige Addington. And so really excited to have her join that group. And so I think that's a good place to build off of, that if we can play some really good back row defense and initiate some good consistency and passing in-system balls, then that will make our setter's job easier, which in turn then makes our hitters, have a lot less pressure on them too.
All right, coaches, we've gotten to know a little bit more about your program over the summer. We've been enjoying getting to know more about the coaches. The question of this summer has been favorite 80s song or 80s band?
Whew. I mean, that's my sweet spot. I'm a Gen Xer, so I mean, it's hard to limit it just to one ultimately. Big Survivor fan, probably. Eye of the Tiger was, a big big song was my high school's, fight song that we played a ton for football.
Yeah.
Huge Van Halen fan. So Jump and that whole group. I'm probably more of an original with David Lee Roth as opposed to Sammy Hagar. But I would say those two groups for sure would stand out from my memory of growing up in high school and that junior high and high school during that time.
I have to agree with you too on that too. I was more of a David Lee Roth fan. It took me a little bit to make that adjustment for Sammy Hagar. Not that he wasn't a good singer or talented, but
Totally.
it took me just a bit to make that adjustment. All right, Coach, season gets underway, as you mentioned. I mean, it's not far away at all. And you alluded to the fact that you get to be at home to begin with. Golden Eagle Invitational to get things started right there in Siloam Springs. You go up to Marshall, Missouri, to Missouri Valley for an invitational there as well before you get into Sooner Athletic Conference play.
Yeah. So again, with the number of new players, I think we tried to, I don't want to say necessarily dial the schedule back, but I think make the schedule appropriate for what the makeup of this year's team was going to be like. And so we really liked it 2 years ago when we were able to open up at home. Last year, just with the way the schedule, when stuff started and new student orientation, we weren't able to be at home. So I'm really glad that we're able to bring the Golden Eagle Invitational back here for a second year. Texarkana is coming back. They were one that participated 2 years ago and had a great experience. So I think that's going to be one of the more veteran teams that are a part of that tournament. So, I see them probably being the biggest challenge for our particular group during opening weekend. The other schools I think are going to be very similar to us in the sense that either they're new coaches or last year's team were really young. And so they're still going to have a lot of underclassmen, or they're like ours that have a lot of new incoming players. And so I think that will be a good first, gauge of where we're at. The second weekend tournament at Missouri Valley College, I think who we drew as opponents, I think it will be a step up. Obviously, I think we're scheduled to play Columbia College as a part of that, and they are always good. So that will be a challenge for our team. And then, like you said, hopefully we'll take those learning experiences that we've gotten from first 2 weekends and then hit the ground running as it relates to conference. Our conference is still going to be, I think, really, really strong and deep. So, there's no real open weekends where you feel like you can take a step back. It's going to have to, keep working on bringing your best week in and week out when we're in our conference part of our season as well.
All right. Well, success to the Golden Eagles in 2025, Coach. We appreciate getting to know a little bit more about the program and previewing this season. And we want to say thank you. Thank you to Ken Carver, head coach of the John Brown Golden Eagles, for taking time with us today here on Midwest Sportsnet.
Thank you again, Joey. Again, appreciated the opportunity.